Yes guys, what's going on? It's Ashton here. I hope you're all doing really well. Before we get started in today's video, I have to tell you that last night I had a dream. Now the first thing that happened in this dream is that Gibby would not stop
chasing
Wraith. And then of course we got third partied. A little while after that we decided to declare war on all doors. All doors must die. We must destroy every door in the map. Doors are toxic, doors are terrible for the game, they must all be destroyed.
Hey, Vsauce! Massive legend here. But where is here, and whose mass is it?
Knock knock! Gibraltar's at the door!
Isn't that right, Wraith? Yeah. Isn't that right, Gibby? Yeah. And then of course shortly after that we got third partied. But the next thing that happened in the dream was the best thing of all, and it's that we hit 10,000 subscribers on the channel. And for the longest time I thought this was a dream, but I realised it can't have been a dream because we got third partied by another 1,000 subscribers the next day. So guys, I just want to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you for helping us reach 10,000 subscribers on the channel. To celebrate reaching this milestone, I will soon be doing a 24-hour live stream for charity for the Black Lives Matters movement. We're going to see how much money we can raise for such an important cause, and I know so many of you have been asking me to stream, so for this one-off occasion to celebrate 10,000 subscribers, I will be streaming live for 24 hours straight to see how much money we can raise for charity. I'm not sure when exactly the stream will be as we're still sorting out all of the details, but I will let you know as soon as it's ready to go, and you will know a week or so in advance before the stream happens. So thank you once again guys for 10,000 subscribers. Let's go for 20k in the next couple of months. With all that being said guys, if you do go on to enjoy the video, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for more regular Apex Legends content from your boy. But of course, in today's video, we're going to be looking at how you can improve in Season 5 of Apex Legends. Now, of course, you all loved the last How to Improve video that I put out on the channel over 2 months ago now, and I thought I'd put out a brand new one in this new style that I've adopted that you guys seem to love. And I'm going to show you how exactly you can get 20 bombs and 4k in this game. I'm going to talk you through what you need to do to achieve these badges and achieve these high kill, high damage games. Now before we get into what I have to say about how to get 20 bombs and 4k, I've brought two of the finest German players along into the party to tell you about how exactly they got good at Apex Legends. So first up, we have the Xantos. Now, Xantos, how exactly did you get good at Apex Legends? Wow, truly fascinating stuff. Now, hey bro Johnny, can you tell us a little bit about how exactly you came to become one of the best caustics on Xbox?
What the fuck?
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you both for joining me in this interview, telling us how exactly you got good at Apex Legends. Thank you so much for your time. Okay guys, in all seriousness now, assuming you have watched the first How to Get Better video, you should be a little bit more familiar about how exactly you should be moving and strafing while in gunfights on Apex Legends. So now we're going to be talking about how you can apply that in game and how exactly you can get these 20 bomb 4k damage games. Now, it is not easy at all, and just watching this video alone will not get you a 20 bomb or 4k, but it should inform you about how exactly you should go about trying to get one of these 20 bomb 4k games. As you can see on screen here, I've had my fair share of 20 bomb 4k games, so I'm going to do my best here to tell you guys about the steps you can take to get these kind of games yourself. So the first and most obvious tip that every single YouTuber is going to tell you is to run those meta weapon loadouts, those R301s, R99s, but most recently the HAVOC is probably the strongest weapon you can use when going for these high kill games. It has such a strong firepower with so many bullets in every magazine. It is such a good weapon, and you'd be a fool to leave it on the ground when going for one of these high kill games, so make sure you rock the HAVOC if you're going for a 20 bomb in this season. Of course you can run other weapons too, like the Prowler Selectfire, the Wingman, the Mastiff. Whatever you find most comfortable and easy to use is what you should be using. So now that we have weapons out of the way, a lot of people will often ask me, Ashton, what is the best rotation for a 20 bomb? And I'm here to tell you that there is no magical rotation for a 20 bomb on any map. Now of course there are hot zones that are likely to have more people drop at them than others, but these can change varying from game to game. For example, on World's Edge, you're always going to get a lot of people landing in Capital, so I'd always recommend landing there for a starting place. But varying from game to game, more people may land in Train Yard than in Sorting Factory, but in the next game, more people might land in Sorting Factory than Train Yard. So really you should just try and keep an eye on where most people are landing and push towards that area of the map. You also have to keep in mind that they too will be rotating out of these areas, so try and work out where you think they will be pushing to try and get more kills, and where you can push to cut them off, or of course you can predict if they will be pushing to try and cut you off, so always be on your guard. I think the next most important thing when going for a 20 bomb is to have that quick start where you get 7 to 8 kills within the first 30 people dying. Of course, not only is it easiest to get the kills early game when people are underlooted and weaker, just because they're not going to have that high tier loot and all of the heals that they were going to have later in the game, but also of course early game is when there are the most people in the game, which means there is the maximum chance of you being third partied whilst you take a fight, which actually when you're going for a 20 bomb is exactly what you want, because the more you have kills coming to you, the less that you have to go chasing kills, the more time saved you're going to have. So you ideally want more and more people to be pushing you rather than you having to run out and chase the kills yourself. Inevitably at some point you will have to go out and try and find some more kills for yourself, so for this I recommend rotating to areas that you saw in the dropship were hot and listening out for gunfire, because as soon as you hear a single shot being fired in the distance, that is exactly the place that you have to be, and you have to get there as soon as possible. Now when you get there you shouldn't go running in like a headless chicken, you should play smart, take your time and make sure that you come in at the point where the enemies are at their weakest but they haven't quite wiped yet. Now this is hard to get a gauge of, but if you're smart enough you can just see when the enemies look weak, when they've been fighting for a long time, you can get a kind of rough idea if the enemies are weak or at the end of a fight, and you can push in and clean up and quite often kill both squads. My last tip for getting a 20 bomb is to keep calm. Now this is the hardest part of all of it. I said this too for my ranked tips after the end game, but when things get hectic in Apex Legends, the adrenaline starts pumping, your heart starts beating really fast, and you get really excited, and this is hard to stop. But if you can try and keep calm when you're up there in the 17-18 kills and you're just a few kills away, you're way more likely to end up getting that 20 bomb. The last thing you want to do is become desperate and start trying to force the kills, because then you could throw away the entire 20 bomb, and you could even throw away a potentially high damage game alongside it. So you should definitely try and play smart, make sure that you take the best opportunity for these kills, and if the game slips away from you, don't try and work yourself up too much, because you could even get the 4K badge if you're lucky. Now on the topic of 4K damage, we're going to be talking about how exactly you can try and get that 4K damage badge for yourself as well. Now this, in my opinion, is a lot harder than the 20 bomb for a number of reasons, and that is mostly because not only do you rely on getting the kills, so early game kills are important when going for a 4K, but a lot of the damage is going to actually be coming from the late game when going for a 4K damage badge, and you could find yourself getting 7, 8 or 9 early game kills and thinking, wow, I could be on for a 4K damage badge here, but in reality you've only done around 1200 to 1500 damage, which is obviously no way near the amount needed to try and get this badge. My best tip for going for the 4K damage badge is of course obviously thirst every single kill you get for the extra 100 damage, but in my opinion you should just go for a regular high kill game like a 20 bomb to begin with. Don't go for damage in mind at the beginning, because it's all going to come naturally as you're getting the kills, and it's in the late game where you want to be starting thinking about poking up those damage stats, and in my opinion that is the easiest way to up the damage stats. You don't want to be poking from the start, because people just won't have the heals or shields to make it worthwhile. It sounds obvious, but if you're getting a lot of kills, you're also going to be dealing out a lot of damage in the long run, so have that in mind when going for the 4K damage badge, that you're very unlikely to find yourself getting this badge without having a lot of kills to go on top of it. Now when it does come to the end game scenario when you think you've got a lot of damage in the bag already, you want to pick up a long range weapon like the G7 Scout, the charge rifle, the Hemlock on the single fire mode, or even the Kraber if you rate yourself highly enough, because of course this deals out massive amounts of damage at the expense of a low amount of ammo. So if you rate your shot highly enough, definitely go and pick up a Kraber if you find one. Sometimes you're going to find yourself lucky enough to see a team that wants to camp the high ground or camp a position in the late game to try and force the win, and you can use this for your advantage to keep poking them from range, keep upping that damage, and eventually you're going to be getting yourself into those high damage counts if you've already got a lot of kills on top. So just make sure you keep poking away, but putting yourself at a safe enough distance that if they get fed up with you and they decide to push you, that you've got enough distance to reposition before they can push you entirely and completely wipe you. But guys, unfortunately that's all I've got time for in today's video. I hope you have enjoyed, and I hope you've learned something new about how exactly you can push to get these 21 badges and 4K badges in Season 5 of Apex Legends. Make sure to like the video and subscribe for more regular Apex Legends content from myself. But until next time guys, it's been your boy Ashton. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy and goodbye.